Hey traders, welcome back to the FXE YouTube channel. Today I will be giving an update on the recent price action and analyzing the markets to give some ideas where price may want to go today. We had a very nice move on EU yesterday. My intuition about price coming down seemed to be right, even if I wasn't fully convinced it would actually happen. Although I was bullish and had some nice trades earlier this week, I got into a killer sell yesterday. Let's have a look at the charts and I will explain in more detail. And just a really quick reminder, if you find value while watching this video, please be sure to click the like button and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Regarding the fundamentals, nothing significant that I could see for euro nor dollar. There is GBP retail sales at Frankfurt Open, which could impact the markets, as well as CAD retail sales later in New York session. Now, looking at DXY, on the 4-hour following lower time frame expectational order flow, price tapped into upper supply, expecting a reversal and pushed to the downside. Instead, higher time frame was clearly aligned and the expectational order flow that we should have been expecting was on the higher time frame. So after some consolidation here, price had a first push above supply here, which gave us the first hint that may not come back down. And after a pullback and more consolidation here, really started to show some signs that we were pushing to the upside. And obviously, it really pushed to the upside thereafter. As we've broken all significant supply on the left, from the last push down. Sorry, my alarms are going off. Okay, so as we've broken all significant supply that was created on the last push down, the expectation now is clearly to push higher into the extreme supply and most likely continue to break the highs. Now, going to EU, so most of the week we consolidated in this range. You can see from here we consolidated inside a 4-hour channel before aggressively pushing to the downside. If we go to the 15-minute, you can see a little clearer. So again, mostly consolidating within this range with a lot of ups and downs, big pushes, ups and downs during news events. And as you know, I was quite bullish and mainly looking for longs during this period. And then yesterday, when I reanalyzed the charts after London and before New York Open, I noticed a few things. So let me zoom in a little. So first, we were failing to break higher into supply. It looked like we were creating a supply chain. And I also noticed that this last push up was quite corrective. I mean, even though we had an initial impulse to the upside, we came back down, pushed back up, came back down, gradually pushed up before that last impulse to the upside. And then instead of breaking and pushing higher, what you could see is we came back into this 15-minute supply zone, and then after that we melted to the downside. There was some news as well that helped trigger that move. Let me show you really quick the trade that I entered on Friday, because like I said, I got into a killer short. So I was playing the reaction of this supply chain. So we had that first initial impulse to the upside that tapped into the 15-minute supply zone. We had an initial reaction with a strong push to the downside. One more test into supply, and then another push back down. And then I actually played the third reaction. So when the price came up back into supply held, I set a sell stop. And then after that, price came pushing down. I completely forgot that we had news 30 minutes after New York Open. But when I did realize a couple minutes before news, I just said screw it. If it comes back and it pulses up, I mean, hopefully I don't get nailed too bad by any slippage that could have doubled or tripled my loss. I wasn't in a full risk position anyways. I was half risk. So I was willing to take that risk if the worst happened. But instead, price had initial impulse to the downside, quick consolidation, and then it really started to push down thereafter. So it ended up being a risky, but in the end, very nice trade. I still have 10% left on the trade. I'm keeping the last 10% for the extreme supply if we make it down there. And as for my bias moving forward today, let me zoom in a little. So what you can see in Asia, before I went to sleep, my thoughts before I went to sleep was we would probably have a pullback during Asia, maybe breaching the supply, maybe not, and then thereafter pushing to the downside. So Japan Open, I was expecting pullback, and then push to the upside, and then maybe around now start to see a shift, and then coming back down. So that was my idea before I went to sleep. But what happened instead, when Japan opened, the price was taken to the downside. Looks pretty clear to me that we're gonna push lower to the downside. I will look for pullbacks, maybe Frankfurt Open, London Open, into supply, getting a shift, and thereafter looking for shorts to take it to the downside. So this seems like, I mean, the scenario that I'll be keeping an eye on the most once we get into Frankfurt and then London Open. But if I see this price start to consolidate here, maybe one push down before Frankfurt Open or before London Open, then I may start to think, with the demand holding, then I may start to think that maybe we're going to push to the upside instead. And then in this scenario, I'll wait for the supply to break, play the pullback, so price would normally come back into the demand range, at least tap into it, and then after try to take it to the upside. How high it'll go, I don't know, but the most likely area is the supply range, so somewhere above here, maybe all the way up to the 4-hour supply. And that's what I'd be looking for in terms of longs. And if we see this buy scenario, definitely for New York, I'll be looking for sell scenarios. So anyways, that sums up the analysis for today. Hopefully you guys found it useful. Let me know your thoughts on today's price action by leaving a comment below. And as a reminder, if you found value in this video, please be sure to click the like button and subscribe to ensure you don't miss any future videos. And also, at BlackSwanForex, we have a free Discord community where we have an active community that provides regular trade ideas as well as a whole bunch of knowledge. If you're interested, the link is in the description below. And last but not least, if you want to support me, my affiliate links to all my favorite prop firms and brokers that I'm currently trading with are also linked in the description below. Although I'm funded at my Forex funds and FTMO, if you watched my recent videos, you know that I have a lot of good things to say about Funded Next. That's also my affiliate link for that one is also linked below. Anyways, for today, good luck trading and looking forward to seeing you again for the next one. See you guys soon. Peace. Hey, you made it to the very end. Thanks for that. If you could do me one more favor and click the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, it'll allow the YouTube algos to kick in and help this channel grow. Thanks again. Cheers.